A very good morning, students. Myself, Ms. Bhagyashri Thoraude, welcome you all on the behalf of Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation Education Department. And the topic that we are going to study today is reflection of light. So let's start. In the previous lecture, we studied about lateral inversion. We saw the number of images that will be formed if the two plane mirrors are inclined at an angle A. The formula was n equal to 360 degree upon A minus 1. And the minimum height of a person standing in front of a plane mirror. In today's lecture, we will study about concave mirror, convex mirror, and a few terminologies that are being related to spherical mirror. That is pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature, principal axis, focal length. Now see here, basically there are two types of mirror. And definitely the first wala type is the plane mirror. What is a plane mirror? There is a slide which is showing us a plane mirror picture. A plane mirror is a mirror with a planar reflective surface. So this is how a plane mirror is being seen. This plane mirror, which we all use in our day-to-day life to see attire. Okay. So the next wala type was spherical mirror. In the spherical mirror, we are having two types. The first wala type is the concave mirror, and the second type would be convex mirror. So basically in this session, we will only focus on these two mirror only, that is concave mirror and convex mirror. So this is how a concave mirror looks like. A concave mirror reflects light inward to one focal point, therefore they are used to focus light. Unlike convex mirror, concave mirror show different type of images depending on the distance between the object and the mirror itself. These mirrors are called as converging because they tend to collect the light that falls on them, refocusing parallel incoming rays towards a focus. This is because the light is reflected at different angles since the normal to the surface differs with respect to the spot of the mirror. Now see here, to the right hand side of the slide, we are having a spoon. You can see a person is taking a photograph, a selfie, okay? And see how the image of the person is being seen. The person is being seen as inverted. Now this is the, you can say, a surface of spoon which is bent inward. So such type of mirror would be called as a concave mirror. The one which is bent inward, such mirror would be called as a concave type of mirror. The next type of mirror is going to be convex mirror. Now let's see what is convex mirror. It is curved mirror in which the reflective surface bulges out towards the light source. The convex mirror reflects light inward, therefore they are not used to focus light. The image is always virtual. Rays haven't actually passed through the image, diminished or smaller, and upright image is being formed. This feature makes the convex mirror very useful. Everything appears smaller in the mirror, so they cover a wider field of view than the normal plane mirror does as the image is compressed. Now here on the right hand side of the slide, you can see the back side of the spoon. See how the spoon is being bulging out. If you see the surface of the spoon has bulged out. Now the same person is taking a selfie in front of this spoon. Now you can make out that the person is upright now. Okay, whereas in concave mirror, the person was appearing inverted But here in this case, the person appears to be upright. He is standing straight. Definitely his image in the spoon's backside also is standing straight only. At the same time, you can see the other view at the backside of this person also. So this is one of the major advantage of convex mirror. You get a wider viewing angle. You get a more field view as compared to the concave mirror. So how these mirrors are being made, we will now see. This is just an illustration that is being done in this slide. A spherical mirror is obtained by slicing a section from a hollow sphere. By hollow sphere, here we mean a glass sphere. Now here what we have done is we have taken a tennis ball over here, see. And what we are doing is we are slicing it with the help of a knife. After slicing it, the surface will be appearing like this. If at all the surface is curved inward, we call it as a concave, and if the surface is bulging out, in that case we call it as a convex surface. So this is how a spherical mirror is being made. This is just an illustration purpose we have done. This is just for illustration. We have done this thing. Now see, here when we take a hollow sphere, how the things go, we will now see. Imagine this surface as a hollow glass sphere, a three-dimensional sphere. A hollow glass sphere with a certain thickness, a part which can be cut or taken out will form spherical mirror. Now what we do is we take out this blue portion out of this sphere. Whatever we will get will be the mirror. Depending on which surface is being coated, that surface would be acting as a concave or convex. So whether it is a concave mirror, whether it is a convex mirror, definitely they are being derived from the same sphere. Okay, and this blue portion, if you remove it or if you cut it from this hollow glass sphere, what we get is a mirror over there. Now see, this slide will illustrate in detail what is concave mirror and what is convex mirror. In concave mirror, a spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved inward is called as a concave mirror. Now here again, we can see there is a glass sphere in two-dimensional. I've shown it with the dotted lines. And what we do is we remove this portion AB outward. Now what we do is when we remove this portion AB, you can see this green colored dashed line over here. So you can say this is the backside of this concave mirror. Why? Because we are coating this surface, the green slanting line portion surface, with silver or silver nitrate solution. You can also say aluminum. And the one which is inside one, okay, and the one which is inside one would be a mirror. Why? Because it would have a reflecting coating. It would be a polished surface. The one thing that must be noted over here is why we are calling it as concave. What is cave? Cave is nothing but it is, it is like looking like a cave. Okay, this is the reason why we are calling it as concave mirror. Now what happens in convex mirror is we are taking the same sphere, a three-dimensional glass sphere with some thickness, and we are taking this portion out. Now one thing that must be noted, you can see the green slanting line inside over here. So you say this surface is being coated with silver nitrate or silver or aluminum, and the bulged portion is being polished. So the such type of mirror would be called as a convex mirror. If you notice, both of them are being derived from the same mirror, depending on the coating of the silver or the aluminium that is being made. If the coating is being done here like this, then inside surface would act as a reflective surface, and if the coating is being done here, coating of aluminium, silver, then the outer surface will act as a reflective surface. So we saw two types of spherical mirror. The first one is concave mirror, and the second one is a convex mirror. As I said, if the outer part of this is coated with silver nitrate solution, you can say the inner part of this is shiny. This part is shiny. Okay, so definitely it is forming a cave-like structure also. So in such a case, we call it as a concave mirror. But when we speak of convex mirror, you can say the silver nitrate coating is being done on this side. Okay, so this is the silver nitrate coating which is being shown with the help of blue slanting lines, and the bulged out portion will be acting as a reflective surface. Definitely it is going to appear shiny. Why? Because the surface is polished over here. Okay. We move on to next slide now. So till now what we saw is, this is just a brief overview of what we did till now. Here we are having a glass sphere. If the cutting of the sphere is done from here, we call it as a concave lens. And if the glass sphere is cut from this side or like this, we call it as a convex mirror. So a spherical mirror is formed by cutting out a piece of sphere and silvering either inside or outside the surface. Concave mirror has silvering on the interior surface, which we think it as cave, and a convex mirror has a silver on the exterior surface, which we call it as a convex mirror. Now this slide is having both the mirrors simultaneously. You see a glass sphere which is being shown with the help of dotted lines. Okay, definitely this is a two-dimensional figure. A glass sphere is being shown with the dotted line. If the coating of silver is done like this, it will form a cave part inside. Such a mirror would be concave mirror. And towards left hand side, if we see, the coating of silver nitrate, silver aluminium is done on this side. So the outer surface, that is this surface, would act as a convex mirror. There are a few terminologies that are appearing in this slide. The first and foremost is center of curvature. Then we can see principal axis. Definitely, if you see the principal axis, it is same for both of them, whether it is a concave mirror or a convex mirror. Then we have pole. Then we have radius of curvature. So now students, what we will do is we will see each and every term that is coming in the slide in detail. The first and foremost term that we will now study is called as a pole. It is the midpoint of the curved surface spherical mirror. It is also called as the vertex. The geometric center of the mirror is called as a pole. Now here, students, you can see a concave mirror. Here you can see a convex mirror. If you locate the exact midpoint of both of them, the exact midpoint would serve as the pole. Okay, you can also say the geometric center of the mirror is called as a pole. Pole is always denoted by a capital letter alphabet P. So by default, when you write the geometric center of the mirror, definitely if you write it as alphabet capital P, one will understood that it is going to be the pole of the mirror. The next terminology that we will now see is the center of curvature. Now, what is center of curvature? If you carefully look at this picture, the hollow sphere is being shown with dotted line. And what we are doing is we are taking a part of this sphere. Okay. And if you see, this part taken is actually a part of this sphere with center C. So a spherical mirror is a part of sphere. The center of this sphere is called as center of curvature. Okay. Now, what is happening is definitely this part is having some center, okay, on the sphere, of which this particular concave mirror is a part. Okay, so this mirror is always going to be a part of the sphere, and the center of that particular imaginary sphere would be called as a center of curvature of the sphere. So when we say center of curvature, the next terminology that is coming over here is called as a radius of curvature. The definition is the distance along the principal axis from center to pole is called as radius of curvature. You all know pole is here. You all know center is here. And this distance is called as the radius of sphere. If you see radius, you go anywhere on this imaginary sphere, the radius is always going to be the same. Okay, so it is the distance from the center of the pole to the principal axis, you can say, is nothing but the radius of curvature. The next terminology that we will now see is the principal axis. Towards right hand side of the slide, I am having a sphere, and definitely you can see a line which is passing through the pole. This line is called as the principal axis. So principal axis, it is the line joining the center of the curvature and the pole of the sphere. If I locate center of curvature, the center of curvature will be somewhere here and the pole is here. So it is the line joining the center of curvature and the pole. Such a line is called as the principal axis. The normal to the surface of the mirror is called as a principal axis. What is normal? Normal is the angle that is making 90 degree with respect to a particular line. So here also you can say the normal made by the principal axis with the lens, sorry, with the mirror is 90 degree. So one question arises, what is the difference between principal focus of concave mirror and a convex mirror? Let us now see. When we speak of concave mirror, you can see the reflecting part is here. The rays of light are parallel to each other. They are acting as incident ray. Since this portion is mirrory, it is polished, it is going to reflect back all the rays of light at one particular point. This point is called as focus. Okay, when ray of light parallel to principal axis are incident on the mirror, they meet at some point after reflection. This point is called as focus. So you see the focus of the concave mirror is towards left. Okay, the focus of the concave mirror is towards its left. Let us see whether it is the same case for a convex mirror. Now here you can see the case is a bit different. This is going to be the polished surface for a convex mirror. The rays of light are parallel to the polished surface of convex mirror. When these rays of light are incident, you say if the rays are being produced backward, these rays of light are being converging at one point. Okay, these rays of light are being coming to one single point, which we call it as a focus for convex mirror. So one difference between concave mirror and convex mirror is having focus on the right hand side of the mirror, whereas in concave mirror, it was on the same side of the reflective surface, whereas in convex mirror, you can see the reflective side is this one, whereas the focus is opposite to the reflective side. One may ask one question that what are the uses of spherical mirror in daily life? Spherical mirrors are used in reflecting telescope. They are used in microscope also. They are used in vehicles and they are used to see images. We will now see each and every particular use in detail. Now in this slide, you can see a convex mirror example. Convex mirrors are used as blind corner mirrors on road to help drivers view traffic around shaped corner. Now see, one difference between a plane mirror and a convex mirror is shown over here. In a plane mirror, the viewing angle is very small. But in a convex mirror, if you see, you get a wider viewing angle. You really get a wider view of the things that are being targeted by the mirror. One of the use of convex mirror is convex mirrors are used in security cameras. Why? Because you can see the person also and you can see the view also, the field view of the person also. The next application of mirror is they are being used in instrument scale. A plane mirror is used in instrument to avoid parallax error. If the eye is vertically above the pointer, the image of the pointer cannot be seen. Now, what is parallax error is, suppose if you are taking a reading and if you see the particular instrument from the left hand side or right hand side, then definitely the reading will be different. So what we do is we place a mirror beneath that pointer. So what happens is even if you see from any angle, you can see the pointer image and you can make out the exact reading of the particular instrument. Now we will see the use of concave mirror. Concave mirrors are used by dentists. The concave mirror helps the dentist to see magnified image of tooth because a concave mirror produced an enlarged or magnified image of an object. Here, teeth, where it is held within the focus of the concave mirror. Now you can see a picture on the right hand side. The dentist has hold a concave mirror in the vicinity of focus. Okay, so what he can see is he's getting an enlarged view of the tooth that needs a treatment. Why dentists use concave mirror? The dentist hold a small concave mirror in such a way that the tooth lies within the focus of the mirror. And then a magnified image of tooth is seen by the dentist in the concave mirror. Since the tooth look much larger, it becomes easier to check for a defect in the tooth. So what exactly a dentist do is, when the dental mirror is positioned inaccurately, the handpiece obstruct the view of tooth left. But when it is positioned at a slightly different angle, the tooth is clearly visible. Now you can see two views over here. Okay. Now what is happening is, if the viewing angle, if is holding at a particular angle, the tooth is not visible properly. But if the holding angle is changed slightly, you get a nice view of the tooth that needs to be repaired. The next use of concave mirror is they are being used in headlights of vehicle because the bulb of the headlight is placed at the focus of concave mirror. It allows the light to spread out to infinity. Infinity means here in this case as a longer distance. A concave mirror is a convergent mirror as opposed to convex mirror, which is being called as a diverging mirror. Now you get a view of how a headlight works. The bulb is placed at the focus. So what happens is, since here it is a mirror, or you can also say here the surface is polished, all the rays of light are being reflected. This is for a parabolic mirror. Okay, even in this case here you can see the light will be reflected and it is being called as a converging mirror. Another use of concave mirror is the concave mirror absorb maximum sunlight which is incident on it and to its focus, which carries very powerful thermal energy. Later to this heat energy is converted into electrical energy which can be used further. Hence the concave mirrors are used in solar devices. Okay, here we are seeing how we are cooking food with the help of concave mirror. This is the polished surface. This is the mirrory surface which reflect all the rays of light towards its focus. So more number of heat is being focused to the vessel and this is how the food gets cooked up. We all have seen this. This is one very important application of concave mirror, which is the satellite dish. These antennas are designed to receive and amplify weak signals sent from communication satellite in space. Since these satellites are so far away that they reach Earth from them are practically parallel. So what happens is we are using this dish antenna in our day-to-day life. Definitely, I have deliberately placed this picture of an older dish. In older days, in my time, the dish antennas were of these size. You can also say it would accommodate a terrace, half terrace. Okay, half terrace, and these are doing amplification of the signal that are being received from the communication satellite. Okay, nowadays the dish antennas are very, very small and compact. Definitely doing the same work. The next use of concave mirror is when face is placed between the concave mirror and its focus, it produces a magnified image. This enlarged image of face is helpful in makeup as even pores of skin are clearly visible. So these concave mirrors are being used by ladies as well as gents in our day-to-day life. Ladies are using it for applying cosmetics and gents are using this concave mirror for shaving purpose also. Now we will see a detailed explanation of the uses of convex mirror. The first and foremost use of convex mirror is rear view mirrors in vehicle. You all have seen this rear view mirror in your vehicle. Okay. At the same time, at the blind corners of the building also, or at the road also, we are placing this convex mirror. The main advantage of placing the convex mirror is you get a wider viewing angle. You can see all the things which are far away from that corner, whether the vehicle is approaching, leaving, so that whoever person is coming out of the building will come to know. If the corner is blind, he won't be able to see which vehicle is coming with what speed. Okay. So with the help of convex mirror, it will be easier. Convex mirrors are used as rear view mirrors in vehicles. Convex mirror gives erect diminished image of objects. They also show a wider field of view than plane mirror. So here we have taken an example of rear view mirror. Look at this car's mirror. He can see all the things which are really far from him. Okay, so he will be able to make out which vehicle is coming, how fast it is, and where exactly it is. So again, we can see here they are being used in rear view mirror. They are being used in shopping mall also to see where exactly the crowd is, what all activities are going on. So don't you think with the help of convex mirror, you really get a bigger picture, a bigger viewing field of the things that are in consideration. One may ask question why a convex mirror is showing things and why a convex mirror shows things. Now see here, you are having a picture here. Look at this picture carefully. This is basically a concave mirror. Okay. Now what happens is a person has been standing over here. And if you see its image appears to be larger. You get a magnified image. So you say concave mirror gives magnified image. Whereas to the right hand side, you can see here a convex mirror. A person is seeing himself in the convex mirror, but you can see the image is very, very small. So the convex mirror shows us a smaller image. Now we come to a point where we are going to see rules to draw a ray diagram in mirror. A kind attention has to be made over here that these rules to draw ray diagram are useful in your standard 10 also to draw the ray diagram. Okay, so we will now see what are the rules. Rule number 1, the ray of light through C will be reflected back through C. Means if the ray of light is passing through the center of curvature, it is being passed undeviated. There is no bending of the ray of light. So whenever the ray of light is being passing through the center of curvature, it would pass undeviated. Rule number 2 is the ray of light parallel to the principal axis will be reflected through F. Means the ray of light is incident on a plane mirror, a concave mirror, and definitely after reflection, it will always pass through the focus. Student, one thing must be noted over here. These rules are applicable for both type of mirror, the concave mirrors as well as the convex mirror. Okay, so whenever the ray of light is being reflected, it is always going to pass through focus. And let us see the rule number 3. The ray of light through focus will be reflected parallel to the principal axis. If you see, rule 2 and rule 3 are exactly opposite of each other. What we say is, if the ray of light is passing through the focus, it will be parallel to the principal axis. And rule number 2 was stating us that if the ray of light is parallel to principal axis, it is always going to pass through focus. So it is really easy to make out the 3 rules. And the third wala rule was, if the ray of light passes through the center of curvature, it is going to pass undeviated. There is no change of path in that case. Students, today's homework will be define pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature, principal axis, focal length, write rules to draw ray diagram, write uses of concave mirrors, write uses of convex mirrors. We will now see a few multiple choice questions before leaving. Mirrors have curved a reflecting surface are called as plane mirror, spherical mirror, simple mirror, none of the above. The answer is definitely spherical mirror. The mirrors, whether it is curved inward, whether it is curved outward, they are being coming under the category of spherical mirror. Next multiple choice question, we will now see how many types of spherical mirrors are there? 2 type, 4 type, 5 type, 3 type. The answer is option number A, that is 2 type. Spherical mirror are of 2 type. The first one is concave and the second one is convex. And these 2 mirror we saw in detail in today's lecture. Third MCQ is spherical mirror with reflecting surface curved inward is called as dash. Convex mirror, concave mirror, curved mirror, none of the above. Now pay attention over here. I am explaining it once again. Reflecting surface is the one which is opposite to the coating. When I show it with the help of dashed line, this is going to be a surface which is coated with silver or aluminium. And the inner surface, when we say, that would be acting as a reflecting surface. So if it is curved inward, such a mirror would be called as a concave mirror. So in our case, the option number B is going to be the correct option. Next is the spherical mirror with the reflecting surface curved outward is. Now, when I want to show curved outward, see how it will be shown. This is the mirror. It is coated with silver here, and the polished surface is the outer part, which we also call it as a bulged out part. Okay, so this surface would be the outer part. Now, don't you think this is being curved outward, this is being bulged out? So such type of mirror would be called as a convex mirror. So in our case, the option number C is going to be the correct option. Pole is generally represented by small p, capital P, both A and B, none of the above. The standard convention to show pole is a capital letter P. So students, I hope you all liked today's lecture. I'm ending this session now. Have a nice day.